Hello everyone, I'm Vrinda and we will be talking about robotic process automation today. So, what is robotic process automation? By definition, the process of automating business operations with the help of robots to reduce human intervention is said to be called robotic process automation, which is short RPA. But what does this statement actually mean? This is just the book definition, right? So, by definition, we're creating robots under this technology. And these robots are not the physical robots that we see in movies. They are not hardware based. These are basically only software scripts. And what we do using these robots is we automate our work, which means that we have these robotic software scripts to redo our work. So any process that we are doing over and over again, we can have the robot do it. We just have to explain the robot how to do it using an algorithm, using a workflow. This is the process, stepwise process that we do, and then the robot can do it. The processes can be run by the robot on different events. It can be triggered on an event on a different time. You can run it as per your own wish. It can be triggered on an occasion of another event. So all these different kinds of triggers can be put into the robot. The robot is given the process of how human does this process. So for example, if today I have to create an Excel file of various student data, once I get information in another Excel file and do some column exchanging and data entry into it, then I can use robotic process automation to do it. The robot will fetch data from the first Excel file, do the required manipulation using different activities, and then put it back into another Excel file. And I will definitely like to mention here that RPA is not a part of ML and AI. Why I say this is because this software only redoes our work. If we tell us to do these are the 5 steps, it will only go over those 5 steps. It is not smart enough to dynamically change the work progress depending on some output that was changed or some environment that was changed, or it is not intelligent enough like a machine learning model to predict any output. When we give it a work, it just does it whatever it is told and then stops. That's all it does. It does not have any self decision power, it does not have any smartness of its own. The only dynamicness it has is of the if else condition. If this happens, then do this, but if this is happening, then do this. That's all. That is not very dynamic, not very smart. And why we use RPA is because it reduces a lot of human effort. The human can now be doing other tasks which are more smartness required and can stop doing the redoing of one task over and over. This also saves a lot of time and money. So where is RPA actually used? These are a few business use cases where RPA is already being used in the industry. It's being used in customer service, HR, finance and accounting, SAP, data entry, and much more. For example, there is someone in the finance department who has to go over all the invoices and pick a few different fields like the name of the person who sent it out, who it was addressed to, what is the date, what are the different items that are listed in the bill, what is the price of each of them, and the total value. So it has to read all these values from a PDF file and put it into an Excel file for data storage. So we have one human data entering all this data. We can simply have one person create this script under RPA, and then this script can be run over thousands of such invoice PDF files and can easily get done so much sooner and faster. So that is the benefit of using RPA over a human. This does not mean that this will take away human jobs. It just means that it will increase the efficiency of each human. So, understanding another aspect between this is that what is RDA and what is RPA? By full form, RPA is called Robotic Process Automation, which is the bigger umbrella. Under it comes RDA, which is Robotic Desktop Automation. And the very thin line difference between the two is that RDA is a subpart of RPA. And why I say that is because RDA is basically attended RPA, which means that RPA can be done when there is no human intervention at all. There is no requirement of any human being present there. But under RDA, you do need some human help. We might need a human to actually start the process. It is not self-triggered. We might need the human to enter some data while the process is going on. We might need a human to enter some passwords. We might need a human to click on next before it actually starts the next process. So these are different kinds of things that humans can interface with the robots and interfere in their work. When this happens, it's called an RDA mode, which is robotic desktop automation. It's usually done for very small number of people and very usually only for the single user themselves. If today I create a process which does something on my own screen and that's all, no one else is using it, it's called RDA mode. But if that script is now converted into a way that it does not require any help from me, it gets started by its own, ends by its own, does the whole process without any help, does not need me to enter any password, any value, any clicking, then that is an RPA mode process where it can be scalable and used by multiple users. And why there is a need to understand this is because a lot of activities when we're creating under this have different personas. So some activities might only work under RDA mode, whereas some will only work for RPA mode. So we need to know the difference between what these two things are before we get into the actual creation of these different activities. Now the question is how we implement RPA. So it's a process automation tool that we required. And there are three different tools that we're going to talk about today: UiPath, Blue Prism, and Automation Anywhere. Automation Anywhere is a tool that has only a 30-day trial available and is not very user friendly, whereas it is only very developer friendly. What I mean by this is that you need to have a good high programming skill knowledge to actually be able to automate your processes using this tool. Not a layman can go to this tool and start automating their everyday process. Somebody who has good coding background, who knows different programming skills, can only be able to create automation processes using this software. And it's one of the most least popular tools among these three in the industry, though it is very widely used, but it is one of the most least popular among these three. Then we come to Blue Prism. There is no trial version available for this tool whatsoever. It is fairly user friendly, but it still requires a good knowledge of programming skills. It is easier to understand than Automation Anywhere because it requires low level programming, which means that you don't need so much skill under programming and coding while you're doing this using this tool to create different processes, but you do need a simple basic knowledge of programming. And it does have a virtual designer, which makes it easier than Automation Anywhere. And it is more popular than Automation Anywhere in the industry. And we start talking about the hero of this presentation today, which is UiPath, which is the most popular, widely used tool in the industry for process automation. It does have a free community edition that you can use to create as many processes as you want for as long as you like. There are a few features that are available only in the paid version, only in the licensed version, but most of the features that you may require are available in the community edition. You can get your hands dirty, you can understand what the process is, what the processes you need are actually going to be done by this tool or not. You can actually do them, you can test them, and then it is that you can go back to the company and buy a license if need be for your enterprise. It is very highly user friendly because it is just a virtual designer with drag and drop options. There is a pane of activities from which you pick different activities that you need on your workflow, put them in an order that you need depending on the kind of process that you're creating, and there you are. You're ready to run your process. It is super easy to create process automation workflows with UiPath. In this course, we will be talking about all the know-hows and how-tos of using UiPath, from the very basic of configuring it in your machine to the different ways of using it, different activities that are available, how to use these activities, what are the loopholes that exist, how can we work through error handling, everything about UiPath and how you can create amazingly great workflows that are widely used in the industry and be industry ready for process automation jobs. Thank you.